Hello, everyone. Dr. Eames here. This time I'd like to talk about stereotyping. Um, there are many different ways of looking at irrational thinking, and one of them concerns the way that we use stereotypes to organize and retrieve information in our minds. But when it comes to people, stereotypes lead to prejudice, which also lead to discrimination. But let's start first by talking about what is stereotyping itself. Well, it is a way of thinking, and it's the way our mind categorizes data from the environment. We are simply bombarded consistently with sensory inputs, messages, all sorts of distractions that are vying for our attention. And we categorize this data and we create labels for those categories to make sense of it. And so it is certainly the way that our minds work to store information and to do it in a way that's efficient and that works for us. The sensory overload otherwise, without a mechanism like this, would be overwhelming for us. The problem becomes when we make categories of information about people. We tend not to update those categories. If there is new information or insight about those people, those categories of people, which we have now put a mental label on, we just, for whatever reason, do not take the mental energy to update those categories, and therefore we're starting to store a uninformed way of thinking, a way that might be false or actually even harmful. What happens is when it comes to people, our categories of information tend to become rigid. We have to take real mental energy and think about it to become culturally savvy. And that means we fight this process of stereotyping when it comes to people all the time. But if our categories become rigid, then we start to have what we would have to say are irrational or exaggerated beliefs about whole groups of people. Okay, folks, that's all I wanted to talk about this time. I'll talk to you again soon.